Future Friday continues from the Breeders' Cup, and this time we'll be mowing the lawn on the Juvenile turf. Full field of 14, headlined by a couple of Euros. The turf races are always tough to handicap because sometimes they are more pace dependent, a little bit trip dependent, and really who can finish the fast. I think one of the key things this year is that we've got a pretty nice overall turf course at Santa Anita. It should be firm. It should be temperatures in the upper 70s and really no issues with the turf course. Let's start with a few of the main contenders. Our Country. First crop, Constitution is the sire, and George Weaver trains. This is probably your deep closer. If it comes down to the horse that can make the last move, I think Our Country has a big shot. His Pilgrim Stakes, when he finished third, he was flying fast at the end and lost to Structor, who is also in this race. But I think Our Country could reverse those tables, especially getting an inside post and probably a more firmer turf course here at Santa Anita. Structor, the winner of the Pilgrim Stakes, is now 2 for 2. First crop of Palace Malice, and Chad Brown trains. He's 5 to 1 on the morning line. Really nothing to go wrong. Really, he's led at the third call of both of his races. Can he hold off a stream of closers that'll be coming at him here in the Juvenile turf? Peace Achieved ships in from Keeneland and Kentucky Downs and Ellis Park and Churchill Downs. He's ran at all 4 Kentucky racetracks, and Peace Achieved, 10 to 1 in the morning line. He's a son of Declaration of War. He's got some tactical speed. He can either lead or take back a little bit, be in that top flight, one of the top 3 contenders down the backstretch. I'm just not sure he can outfinish some of the closers. Decorated Invader is your morning line favorite, 4 to 1, ships in for Christopher Clement, and another deep closer, I think, in this type of race. He's definitely a contender and one you have to consider on all ends of your exotics. Vitology for Brendan Walsh, second in the Bourbon Stakes at Keeneland, was closing late, also closed in the Summer Stakes at Woodbine. This is another deep closer at 10 to 1 with Javier Castellano. Vitology is one of my top 3 contenders, along with Decorated Invader. Graceful Kitten, I think this is a horse who's going to like the firm turf course at Santa Anita. The Kitten's Joys love the lawn, and he run at Gulfstream, so he steps up in class in this race, now facing grade 1 type of horses. I'm not sure he can make an impact. Andesite for Brad Cox, another one who can race from off the pace. He's by the Factor, who's been a really good turf sire, and Andesite, a 12 to 1 contender with Joel Rosario. Meanwhile, you go to Billy Batts. He's a 20 to 1 for Peter Miller. He's the hometown horse. Ran in the Zuma Beach, ran third. Did lose to Hit the Road in that race and now faces other quality speed in this race. Gear Jockey for Calumet Farm, son of Twirling Candy for George Arnold. He's another one that can race from mid-pack. I think he's got a shot here. Definitely one to consider, especially with that 89 Brisnet speed figure 2 races back. War Beast, another one from the Zuma Beach. He finished second to Hit the Road. War Beast going to be a long shot in this race at 20 to 1. Proven Strategies, a Woodbine shipper, flattened out in his most recent race, lost to Decorated Invader. He's another one that's pace dependent and trip dependent. That's how he's really going to finish in this race. Arizona, 5 to 2 for Aidan O'Brien. He's the official morning line favorite. Picks up Lasix, has ran 6 times, 2 wins in 2 seconds. Can he get the trip, and can the son of No Nay Never rally from that outside post, as he's going to kind of be mid-pack in this field. Fort Myers is 12 to 1 on the morning line. Aidan O'Brien, second contender here. Another one that adds Lasix, and with 7 lifetime starts and 2 wins, he definitely should be fit for this race. Hit the Road is going to be my top selection. He's got the 14th post position, but I really like the way he rallied in both of his wins. He can come off the pace. He is stepping up in class, facing the Euros in Fort Myers and Arizona. And he's also got to deal with some of the East Coast invaders in Decorated Invader, Structor, and Our Country. So my top contender is Hit the Road. I also like Our Country, and I'm taking a long look at Vitology and Decorated Invader. Those are the main 4 contenders for me that I'll be using in my exactas and trifectas, and probably keying heavier on Hit the Road and Our Country in doubles and pick 3s. You definitely can make a case for a horse like Arizona and Fort Myers if you just want to go with the Euros, but I think you have to kind of spread no more than 3 or 4 in pick 3s, and then I think in exactas you have to do some partial keys. as those are some of the key contenders. Arizona, I'm just not so sure he wants the distance. I guess I prefer Fort Myers of the Euro Invaders, and I also like a horse like Gear Jockey, possibly on the underneath of a race like this. So I think the trip could figure out to a horse like Vitology or Decorated Invader, or even a horse like Our Country. Hit the Road is my top selection, as I think if he can just kind of settle mid-pack or rear end and then kind of try to pass the field at the end here down the stretch, the son of More Than Ready. I've really been impressed with Hit the Road as he continues to work well. Who do you like in the Juvenile Turf? Remember, we've got previews up of the Juvenile and the Juvenile Fillies and Saturday's races, as well as we preview all 14 races from the Breeders' Cup. It's the Juvenile Turf. Well, they'll be mowing the lawn at Santa Anita.